Our next speaker today is Gogo. I met Gogo years ago. She is a social media marketing phenom. She has taken the country by storm. She has over 50,000 followers. And I've asked her to kind of gear this to agents who sell anywhere from 20 to 40 homes a year and give you relevant information that you can do right now to start building your social media campaigns so people call you and want to list their home with you because you're the expert. So help me welcome all the way from I think Chicago or Detroit. I forget where Gogo's from, but Gogo, welcome, and let them have it. Give them social media marketing. Can't wait to hear what you got to
say. Hey guys, my name is Gogo Bethke. I am so excited to be here today. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored. I run business on social media under the name of Gogo's Real Estate, and I have been ever since I got licensed in 2011. I was named the #1 social media queen, or the #1 agent, I guess, who runs business on social media here in the state of Michigan. That's where I do most of my business. But I'm also named the social media queen. So a little bit about me. I got licensed in 2011. We were broke. I had no sphere of influence, as you can hear it from my accent. I am not originally from the United States. I was born and raised in Transylvania, Romania. So when I moved here, I really had no sphere of influence. I had no cousins that are going to buy houses from me. I had no best friend. I had no college friends. I had no kids that I grew up on the same street with. I really had no sphere of influence. And now I got myself suddenly to be working sales. I also know the stats. 80% of the realtors will give up in the first 2 years. So I was not about to become a statistic. So I figured, what else can I do? Because I am not willing to door knock. I am not willing to cold call. I have an accent. It's against my religion. Many things that I wasn't willing to know, nor did I had money. I don't want to buy leads, and I didn't have money to like throw at billboards or buy Zillow leads or do all those things. So I had to figure it out, and I did it with the power of social media. So we are here today to kind of give you a few tips that you can like go home right now, or if you're sitting at home and watching this, if you're home right now, you can actually implement it and get it done and double down in your business and become that brand, that local expert that everybody knows about. I can go to the store now without people knowing that's that Gogo chick that sells real estate. And that is my goal for you, is to be able to help you to lead generate with your own brand. Build that brand where the people, the buyers and the sellers come to you and they ask you, hey, oops, we're having a baby, we're gonna need to sell. So really, I don't even have a listing presentation because I don't have to have one. I have my services sold to them, that potential buyer and seller, before I ever step a foot in on the door. If you wanna look me up and how I do business, you can find me under Gogo's Real Estate. But I prepared some tips for today that you can get done from home, and I kind of have a cheat sheet. So if you see me looking at there, I'm just kind of making sure that I cover everything. So the first one and the most important, when you decide to do social media marketing, we have to understand that you are your brand, okay? There's 2 million realtors out there that your potential buyer and seller could choose to work with. Why on earth should they choose to work with you? So you want to make what I call your social storefront as pretty as possible. You must edit your photos. You must make it personal. Don't use third-party companies that post on your behalf. Give them a reason to follow you. Don't make everything 100% real estate related. Throw some personality in there. Throw some quotes in there. Throw your hustle, your ethic, what you stand for in there. Show them who you are. Give them a reason to follow you. People in average are in the market for every 7 to 10 years for 6 months. After that, they don't care about the real estate market unless the market tanks, and then suddenly they want to know how much their home is worth or how much equity they lost. But other than that, everybody's just kind of happy and going around, going about their life. But you want to stay in front of them. You want them to follow you. So if and when they're finally ready to pull the trigger again, they will choose to work with you. So get in the habit, or get okay, I guess, with the idea of shameless self-promotion, because that is what we do on social media. It's okay to give a pat on the back to yourself and let the world know what you achieved today. What house did you sell? How was the marketing plan on that? You know, how many agents joined your team? What is going on in your real estate team or brokerage on your individual agent? What is going on in your life, in your real estate life? And you want to be able to be okay with what's called again, what is it called? Shameless self-promotion. Okay, that is your marketing platform. Social media, think of it this way. You make that post, it's gonna take you 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe 100 people see it, maybe 100,000 people see it. But now that social media post, and it took you 5 minutes to post, it's working for you from now until forever, until somebody else is going to see that post. So that post is working for you. That's an investment into your business. And you can do that with how many dollars? 0. I also do Facebook and Instagram marketing and Google marketing and all that. But my goal is to teach you the very basics at first, the why and what you need to do in order to grow that brand and do it organically without money, with just your own time and thumbs making the post. Virtual open house. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Virtual open houses are the next thing. And I just saw one somebody did, and it was such a genius idea that I loved it. So because of COVID, now we are kind of limited of open houses, but we can do virtual open houses. So go out to your listing. Get a friend to go with you, your husband, your wife, your child, if he's old enough to hold the camera. Do that virtual open house, talk about the property, and as you're going through the virtual open house, make sure to give away some things. So before you do the virtual open house, talk to some local restaurants. Right now, like at least in the state of Michigan, we cannot go and sit in a restaurant just yet, but we can certainly do pickups. Maybe you go to Starbucks and you give away $5 Starbucks gift card. You say, okay, everybody who stays down, or you ask a question, whoever answered it in the comments is going to get a $5 gift card. Or you say, the person every 2 minutes in the video, I'm going to draw a different name from the people who are watching it. And then you just kind of go through who's watching it live. And then you're going to draw a name and give them a $5 gift card. You want them to spend time on your profile, because the Instagram and the Facebook algorithm, they don't care anymore how many followers you have. They care about the interaction. The algorithm cares about how much time of the day do they give you. Do they skip through your videos, or they actually watch it full time? Do they take the time to like? Do they take the time to comment? Do they take the time to DM you? So you want eyeballs on your profile, and you want to keep them on there as long as you can. And video will allow you to do that. Also, get comfortable in being in front of the camera. I made mistakes. How many mistakes did I make since I was talking here? Many. Okay, I have an accent. English is my third language. I am not perfect by any means, but that's okay. Nobody is. Not unless you're Jesus or Buddha. So just get comfortable in front of the camera, and guess who's selling the house? You are. So should you be in the video? Yes, you should, because that's proof to the future Mr. and Mrs. Seller that you actually know what you're talking about, that you actually know what you're talking about because it's coming out in your mouth, and you just sold them you without actually selling them you. They already know they want to work with you because you convinced them by selling another house of how amazing you were at it. So you can do that with the virtual showings as well. Your bio on social media. Make sure your bio on social media answers these 4 basic questions. Who you are, which is your name. Your name is your brand. If you are Gogo's Real Estate on Instagram, you own gogosrealestate.com. You have a Gogo's Real Estate email address. You have Gogo's Real Estate on your yard signs. You are Gogo's Real Estate everywhere. Make sense? So now, of course, you could be Kevin Smith. You could be Jessica Angel. Whatever your name is, whatever your brand is, you want to own that on Instagram, own that on Facebook, own that on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you're going to have your personal name because you can't have a website, but you want to own the .com. You want to have that everywhere. Okay, so that is your name. Figure out what your name is, and you're going to have that everywhere. The next one is what you do. Hashtag realtor. People can actually follow a hashtag on social media, and you want to be able to pop up every time somebody follows the hashtag realtor. You want your post to pop up so they can see who you are and get familiar with you and follow you. Where? Michigan. In my case, if you go to my profile, you'll see my name. You see that I'm a realtor with a hashtag in front of it. I'm in the state of Michigan with the hashtag in front of it. I say conducting business in Michigan. The reason why is because I go on so many profiles. Let's say I'm a buyer. Let's say I'm moving from Seattle to Michigan and I'm looking for a Michigan realtor. How on earth am I going to find you if your profile doesn't say you're conducting business in Michigan? That's why you do it. You want the world to know who you are, what you do, where you do it, and how can I get a hold of you. Now, think of it this way. The millennials have a attention span of a goldfish, about 3 seconds. So if you don't give them instant information, instant gratification for what they need, they're not going to choose to work with you. They're going to over to the next person whose information is on there, who they can access with a click of a button. So your contact button has to be filled out. That should be your phone number that you always answer whenever it goes to voicemail, and that should be your email address. That is a quick access to you so you can respond right away. Again, who you are, what you do, where you do it, and how can I get a hold of you. So make sure your profile answers these 4 questions. Now, let's hop over very quick to your business page. When I'm talking about doing business, I'm talking about doing business on business pages. Your business you take seriously. If you want people to take your business seriously, you're going to take your business seriously, and you're not going to run business on a personal Facebook profile. You're going to do it on a business page. So on Instagram, your Instagram and Facebook, as long as they're business pages, you can do multiple things with it. You'll have an algorithm in the background that's going to show you your insights. So you're going to see how old are your followers, where they are located, what time of the day they log in. Why do you want to know that? Is because when you decide that you want to throw $5 at it and actually spend money, you want the best return on your investment. And the only way you can know that, if you can do that, if you know who your target audience is. So I want you to turn both of your Facebook and Instagram pages into business profiles. If you don't have a business profile, create one, and then you link them together. And then suddenly you just killed two birds with one stone. I always post on Instagram, automatically feeds over to Facebook. So the stories that I post on Instagram, they show up in my business page on Facebook. The things I post on my wall on Instagram show on my Facebook wall. And I just killed two birds with one stone. Okay, so on Facebook page, I want you to do two things very quick. I want actionable items today, so just please make sure you're taking notes. On Facebook, I want you to go to the service tab and fill out what you do, where you do it. Who's paying for your services? You can say if you're a buyer, the seller is going to pay for my commission. I can't wait to work with you. Okay, so just fill out what you cover, what area, what your specialty is. The next one, did you know that you can link your Facebook or your calendar, your Facebook calendar to your actual calendar? So you go to Facebook, you create your calendar. I have listing appointment and buy-side appointment one-on-one. They can literally plug themselves into my calendar. The cool part is that calendar actually links with my Google Calendar. So if I'm busy on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, guess what? It's not going to give them the time. It's going to give them 12 or it's going to give them 10. But it links with it, and now I just remove that back and forth of like, oh, are you available Tuesday at 2? No, I can't. I'm sorry, I have a live. How about Wednesday at noon? Oh no, we can't. Our dog has a vet appointment. Okay, how about Thursday? Can you guys do Thursday evening? Oh no, the kids have soccer. So instead of doing that back and forth, now they have direct access to your calendar. It syncs to your current calendar, so you're not gonna have to go back and forth. You never double book yourself, and then voila. Problem solved. So make sure you fill out the services tab on your Facebook page, and you also link your calendar to your Facebook calendar. If you don't know how to do that, Google it. There's this thing called Google, and you go in there and you type in, how do I fill in my services tab on my Facebook business page? And pop up, you're going to have like 10 different steps of how to do it. Done. Do that. Strongly recommend for you to have, this is a tip number, I don't know how many, at 5th, let's say. Buyers and sellers guide. If you don't have a buyer seller's guide, you're kind of wasting your time. So what we do is, actually, this is my husband's baby, so I'm stealing this idea from him. I must give him credit. So he is the best guru, the _best_ guru. He's my husband, and he's also a full-time realtor. And he does this, and I think it's such a great idea, as having a buyers and sellers guide updated quarterly by Keeping Current Matters. So go to Keeping Current Matters, get a membership there. I don't know how much, I want to say it's $25 a month, but don't quote me on it. And getting that membership, they update it, and it's just a ton of information. It's also, you can download it as a PDF. You can customize it, so you can add your brand to it and all that. So make sure that that is always quarterly updated, and you're ready to rock and roll when a buyer or seller reaches out to you. Like yesterday, we got a buyer off of one of our listings, and right away, my husband sent them the buyer. The buyers and sellers guide. Well, this was a buyer, so we send them the buyer's guide, and we also send them the vendor list. Now, what we do, our preferred vendor list, it's like an ongoing Google document that our friends who own businesses or people that we work with, vendors and lenders and title companies and painters and mowers and trash companies, and you name it, anybody that we worked with during our 10 years of career, it's on that vendor list. Not only that they're on there, we like supporting the ones that support us. They also choose us to be the realtor in return. But we also like to support the ones that support us, and some of them even give discounts to our clients. So now when somebody reaches out to us, we explain them the process. The buyer's guide will explain them the process, what it takes to become a buyer, which one of the steps is getting pre-approved. If you haven't talked to a lender yet, please do so. Please feel free to see the attached vendors list that has multiple choices for you. We have worked with all of these lenders in the past. We love all of them, but it is absolutely your choice who to decide to work with. Please see the list attached, and let's get you pre-approved. So, do you have a buyer's and seller's guide? If not, check out Keeping Current Matters. I don't work with them. I don't get a cut of this whatsoever. I'm just trying to help you to make sure that you have everything that we do, because it works amazing. Link your business accounts together. We talked about that. So when you create a business page and a Facebook business page and Instagram, you're going to link them together. The next big advice, are you ready? This is one of my favorite, and so many of you don't use it, abuse this. If you don't exist on Google, if you don't show up on the first page of Google soon to the millennial, who are the biggest pool of buyers and sellers here soon, you're not going to exist to them. So I want you to have a Google presence. The easiest and fastest way to do that is to have a Google My Business. So go on there and Google, how do I create a Google My Business account? Okay, going to give you a step-by-step guide. Why do you need a Google My Business? Because you want reviews and feedback on Google. You also want a Google address, so when people are meeting with you, you're going to be able to just say, hey, just put in Gogo's Real Estate in Google and I'll see you at the office. Now, if you're an EXP agent, which I am as well, you might run into like, ooh, I don't want people know where I live. So there's a few ways you can do that. You can still enter your physical address, but hide it from the public. Or you can enter, like in my case, I talked to my local lenders and I worked with for years, and I asked her, hey, would it be okay if I put your address onto my Google My Business? Because hey, I work out of there multiple days a week anyway. My team and I, her office is open to us anytime. And then I also ask when somebody ships or mails me something to put attention Gogo. This way they don't open it, and they let me know, and when I'm there next time I pick it up. So that's what I do. But if you don't have connections like that, if you don't have a lender or a title company or a friend who owns an office downtown somewhere, then you want to hide. Make sure you hide your address from the general population. After you created your business, what happens is, believe it or not, Google is going to send you a snail mail. Yes, I said snail mail. An actual postcard that's going to go to that address. So make sure that whatever address you choose, it, by the way, cannot be a P.O. box. Make sure the address you choose, you're going to be able to access that postcard, because it's going to have a 6-digit code on there that you're going to have to go back to Google My Business and approve that account. So you're going to need that code on there. Now, as soon as you created that and it's approved, then you have access to your Google My Business. The first thing you want to do is print at least your last year's closings and go back to your past clients and ask them very nicely if it would pretty please take the time to leave your review. The more reviews you have and the better the reviews are, the higher and faster you're going to show up on the first page of Google. Go get it done. Love it. Next, Zillow. Did you know that on Zillow, if you are on the buy side of a transaction, you can actually claim that transaction to show up in your volume, I guess. So even though I don't buy leads from Zillow, I'm not a preferred agent or whatever those are even called. I never paid for that. Never bought a lead. But I do use Zillow because guess what? Zillow generates a lot of traffic to their site where buyers and sellers go on there and they search for realtors. Well, I want to show up. The more reviews I have on there, the more transactions I show up with they're on the site, the better by chances are that they're going to choose to work with me. So what you need to do is go on Zillow, create a professional account, not a personal account, a realtor account. You log in there and you can go through all of your past transactions because it's actually tied to your ID and you can claim it. Now, many of the realtors on the listing side, they're smart enough to claim the buy side as well before you claim it. So now it shows them twice. Their volume just looks bigger. So you want to go in there and reclaim it and show it. Nope, actually, I worked that buy side. I brought the buyer. The credit is mine. And you want to claim those buy side transactions. You want to use those reviews and feedbacks for your future. So what I do, or what we do, I should say, when we close, I have an automated text message that goes out after closing. I just save them in my notes, and it says something along the lines, when I'm at the closing, I try to go to almost every single closing. When I'm at the closing, I just say, of course, something, but this comes from the heart. I'm not kidding and I'm not lying. Something along the lines of like, hey, I love working with you. Thank you so much for choosing us at Gogo's Real Estate. I hope you had a 5-star experience working with us, because we sure did. If you would pretty please, after closing, I'm going to send you a couple links. I'm going to send you a text message with a couple links in it. If you would please take 5 minutes of your time, just type up one review, copy and paste it. But I do need you to go to all 3 of those sites, because those sites don't allow us to copy and paste your review. It has to come straight from the source. I would so appreciate it, because our business is word to mouth. It is from friends to friends, and I need your reviews if you would please take the time. And by far, 95% of the time, our clients will take the time and do it. So I'm proud to say that we are 5-star everywhere, on Google, on Zillow, on Realtor. Actually on Facebook I'm 4.9, because somebody I never worked with left me a 2-star review, but I left it on there. You can find these reviews, but I left it on there, and I called that person out and I just, hey, listen, I never worked with you, you never worked with me, I never even met you, I don't know who you are. So I'm sorry that you felt the need to leave a review on my page, and it happened to be somebody who knows somebody, because I can see it on their friends list, that happens to be a realtor. So I guess they had a little animosity and they asked the friends to leave a bad review, and the friend did. Okay, well, I left it on there because it's really not a true review and they can see it. I never worked with that person. I never sold them or had them buy a house. So that's it. So make sure you have your reviews. When it comes to your newest listings, the things that work, and I'm going to go through them very quick because I only have a minute and a half. Change photos. So instead of waiting until your professional photos are out and you're posting the link to the professional photos and your listing, take those photos and post at least 10 of them, just the photos and the nice description, and say coming soon. Maybe ask the price or guess the price or things like that, or just share a little bit about it, but don't share your link. Just do a coming soon first. Chain photos work really well, people really truly enjoy going through them. So what I mean by chain photos is just take those photos and post 10 of them with a description, not an actual link from your KB core. The next one, I want you, after the listing goes active, to take your own link on KB Core and post it very quick. With that one, you're going to be able to capture all of the leads that are actually going to click it. The next one, Facebook groups. Make sure you belong to all of the Livingston County groups, the moms, the this, the that, the things for sale groups locally, because those work. So you want as much exposure for your listing as you possibly can. If you don't have time for it, hire a VA. I have a VA from the Philippines. They charge anywhere from $3 to $8 an hour in average, and they do an amazing job, and they can definitely help you with the tedious tasks that you need to do that are not the best way you can spend your time. And it does take time, but it will pay off. And the last one is video. We just went out to one of our listings because it's still COVID, so we can't do open houses, but my husband came out with me. We both went to the property, the sellers left the property, and we just did an awesome walkthrough, and we posted on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, you name it. You post it everywhere, let the world see it. Again, you want videos. With videos, you want a few things. You want those eyeballs on your account for as long as possible, and B, you want to be in it, so you become that local expert by talking, so the information is coming out on your mouth, you automatically become the expert. And I think that's I could squeeze in here for 20 minutes, so thank you so much for having me today, and good luck. You are in amazing hands with a ton of amazing speakers, and you're going to learn so much today. So again, thank you so much for having me. My name is Gogo Bethke, and you can find me at Gogo's Real Estate. Happy selling. Bye, guys.
Gogo, you never disappoint. Loved it. On point. Entertaining. Wonderful. Thank you. It was super good.